Hello, welcome to this new episode of ENTRE. My name is Christian Seri. I'm a DFW realtor and I'm the founder of Business Apparel here in Dallas. And today, I'm excited. We have this wonderful entrepreneur. I don't want to talk too much. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. How are you first?
Hi, bonjour. I'm doing wonderful. My name is Marceline. I am an entrepreneur here in Dallas.
Okay.
I own and operate about 10 businesses. And,
10 businesses?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
Yeah, so I've been doing hair, makeup, dresses since I was about 10 years old.
Okay.
And entrepreneurship has been in my blood. My mother, my father, my grandparents have all been entrepreneurs. So it was only right.
So it's in the family?
It's in the family, yeah.
Okay.
So it's only right to follow down their path. So, yeah.
So I'm not going to ask you what's your background? What did you do? You know, who is MARYSE? If somebody doesn't know you.
So MARYSE is a young girl from Congo.
Okay.
I was born in Congo, and I left when I was about 2 years old. I've lived in Gabon, all across the world, and I moved to the U.S. when I was 9 years old. I studied at University of Arlington, and I did a bachelor's in marketing and management. And I got into clothing and beauty when I was about 12 years old. And when I was in university, it was a way for me to make money on the side while trying to pay for like books and such, and it kind of grew into something more, so.
That's amazing, that's amazing. So you didn't work for any corporate companies?
Yes, so while I was in college, I was working for JP Morgan part-time and going to school. And then I was running my businesses on the side as a way to make extra money also, so.
That's interesting. So you are the owner of 10 businesses. That's amazing.
Thank you.
So
thank
you do beauty and dresses?
I make dresses. I do hair. I sell hair also.
Okay.
I have a cosmetic company.
Okay.
I sell swimsuits. I sell fitness apparel. I have a podcast called Girls Talk. I have a nonprofit foundation called the Junior Foundation. I run a logistics company with my dad. Okay. And so much more. I'm also in real estate.
Oh, okay.
So I do
like
a
me.
lot, yeah.
Perfect. So I'm not going to ask you again, how did you get started? And because even if your family, you know, you have the entrepreneurship spirit, and how did you get started? You're like, okay, I did this when I was younger, but when did you say, okay, I'm going to do it myself now?
Yeah. So in college, I took an entrepreneurship class, and I worked for JP Morgan. I would work the 9 to 5, and I think I typically knew that that wasn't the path that I wanted to walk down. And I started selling dresses to my friends. I was doing hair and makeup for my mom, my sisters, even the women in church, all the mamas. They would come to me and I would hook them up. And I got a lot of positive feedback from a lot of people. They were saying, oh wow, you're really talented, your dresses are great, you should open a business. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. So I opened an Instagram page. I started sewing the dresses at home. I would do like a photo shoot in my living room.
So you started by opening Instagram page.
Instagram page, yes.
So we understand here the impact of social media.
Yeah, social media is huge. Anyone who wants to be an entrepreneur, social media allows you to reach audiences all across the world. So that's definitely a good place to start if you want to be an entrepreneur. So. Okay,
go ahead.
So I started doing photo shoots in the living room with actually my younger sister Joyce, who's here. She would take photos, and my sister would model for me. I bought all the photography equipment and things like that. So I started posting the dresses, and right now I have about 6,000 followers for Shell Lux, which is the clothing page. And then I opened Shell Beauty, which is for extensions. I started posting my clients and doing makeup and things. And I was like, I want to do cosmetics, you know. I want to start selling cosmetics products to my clients. So I went into cosmetics, and I did jewelry also. I would sell my clients who would come see me and do their hair.
You are a package.
Yeah, it's a one-stop shop. You can come see me for everything.
You need jewelry, you need dresses, you need a house, you need supply chain, I'm here. That's excellent.
Advice. Yeah, I can take care of you. All your needs, I got you.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you do it here, or do you have any like, let's say, offices overseas?
Yes.
Or?
So the Junior Foundation is in Congo. The mentorship
It's a non-profit.
It's a non-profit.
Okay.
Yes. The Junior Foundation is in Congo. We have about 3 people overseeing that. I have 4 employees here. We have 2 for the logistics company. I also have an assistant. So in total, about 5 employees. And we're also based here at an office in Dallas. So,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect. So having 10 businesses, people might think, okay, it's easy.
Oh.
Every day I wake up, I'm going to open one, I'm going to open
Yeah.
one. So what difficulties and obstacles did you go through when you were achieving all those companies?
I'll definitely say it was hard because I think people typically think that being in entrepreneurship is easier than working a 9 to 5. A 9 to 5, you come in, you clock out, you go home, and you can do whatever you please. Being an entrepreneur, it requires you to be dedicated 24/7.
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. There's been times where
you have to invest yourself.
You have to invest your time.
To get
yeah.
result in return.
You have to invest your time, and there's been times where I'm up. If you follow me on Instagram, I'm up till 5 a.m. finishing a dress for a client. I do real estate also. I have to schedule a lot of my hair appointments around, real estate, making sure I'm available Saturday, even Sundays sometimes. And you have to pour so much of your time to make sure that your businesses succeed, especially when you start working for yourself, because that's how you pay your bills, So it's hard work. And if you're not prepared to do the hard work, I would say do the 9 to 5 because it's easier.
Okay, and from your background, from where you come from, and what kind of issues did you, like people, okay, she's a lady, or maybe, or I don't know, she's from this and from that, and how did you?
I think my experiences being a woman, I've always worked in male-dominated fields. I'll start off by saying that. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I sold cars. I worked for AutoNation Chevrolet. I was a banker for JP Morgan.
Did everything.
Yeah, I worked a lot with around a lot of men. And being a woman, of course, if you're an attractive woman, people don't take you seriously, specifically men. So it teaches you to be tough. Come in, be punctual.
So you are tough.
Yeah, you have to be tough, especially when you're a woman in business.
Protect yourself.
Yeah, you have to be tough. You have to have a certain dominance when you walk into a room, and not only that, you have to respect yourself. Because when you're around a lot of men, they'll be like, okay, well, she's pretty. Maybe I can try to talk to her, but you have to remind yourself, I'm here for business. I'm a respectable woman.
Business is business.
Yeah, business is business, and you go in and you seal the deal. You get what you want out of your your contracts or whatever meetings you're in, and you move forward. So
absolutely. And what is the vision? What do you want to achieve? I know you do a lot of stuff, but what's the vision behind this? What do you want to show to yourself,
to myself,
and to maybe, I don't know, to your family or to people that know you?
For me, it's always been about legacy, leaving an impact on the world. My grandfather, Shembo, he was a serial entrepreneur. He had a lot of businesses. Growing up, he was in oil and gas. He had gas stations. He was in real estate. He invested in homes. He invested in apartment complexes. My father also, he was in the diamond business. He's been doing that for over 40 years. So growing up, I definitely saw the impact it had in people's lives. My grandfather, he died my freshman year of high school. And till this day, when people talk about him, he built an incredible amount of wealth for himself. But when you hear about him, they don't talk about how much money he had or his homes. It was like, wow, he used to go out and give food to the poor, in Congo. In Kananga, he would walk around, feed people. He would adopt kids into his home that weren't his own blood. So he not only left a legacy and an impact for himself, where people still talk about him, but all his businesses, his sons took over. And for me, it's about making an impact. And I think God has given me a vision for my life, especially for my businesses, and more importantly for the Junior Foundation. And walking in my divine purpose, I think it's allowed me to flourish, and it's my why for living, if that makes sense.
So you know your purpose.
I know my purpose, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Serving people, and bring your service, and that's is amazing.
Thank you.
No, I'm very impressed because and all those people watching us, they are like, oh, okay, she opened like 10 businesses, but it requires like hard work. Yeah. So how do you manage your time? Because I was reading something those past few days talking about what we call the 3T. The 3T. It means your time, your talent, and your treasure. Yeah. The way you manage your time, you want to create, give you talent. Yes. And this talent is going to bring treasure, like money. Yeah. So how do you manage your time to be successful? It's important.
To be 100% honest, I used to be terrible with time management, especially when I was in college. I mean, I was the queen of being late. And my mom
procrastination as well?
You have to be on time for, I was terrible at it. One thing that I've learned is I've centered God around everything that I do in life. When I wake up in the morning, I scheduled my alarm for 9 a.m. The first thing I do is I pray. I say, God, take control of this day. Let your angels accompany me in everything that I do. And I schedule certain moments. 9 a.m. I pray. 10 o'clock I work out for 30 minutes. 11:30 the alarm rings, I shower. After I finish showering, I come and I read the word. I read the word every morning and at night before I go to bed. After which I sit down on my desk. I go through my emails. I'm saying, okay, what do I have to post? What do I have to do as far as, Shell Lux, Shell Beauty? What do I have to do as far as the Junior Foundation? Every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m., I'm volunteering, mentoring children. So now I have a set schedule and I'm very disciplined with it. And part of that discipline, it's not my own. God has helped me a lot with that, having structure as far as just reading the word, spending time with God. I think all that was also imparted into my business. So it's not me.
There was something important you said, discipline.
Yeah. Discipline, yeah.
Discipline, consistency, and discipline. Yeah. So we can see you are a godly lady.
Yeah, I am.
So sure. I would like to ask you, what's your favorite scripture in the Bible? Okay. Like you read it, you are like, wow, this is powerful. And for example, those people are like Proverbs 23, you know, Lord is my shepherd. And what is yours?
So I have a few scriptures that I love. First and foremost, I love the book of Proverbs. It's taught me a lot about character development, how to do business with integrity.
Wisdom.
A lot of wisdom, the book of wisdom. One of my favorite scriptures is idle hands are the devil's workshop. God has put a vision and talents inside each and every single one of us. And it's up to us to, pray and seek God to figure out, okay, what has he called us to do? And when he says that, he's saying if you're sitting around doing absolutely nothing, the devil's going to come and tempt you and, steer you towards the wrong direction. So it's important to always be moving and doing God's work, no matter what, the line of business you're in. Another scripture is Isaiah. God talks about when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That's my favorite scripture of all time, more than the Proverbs 1, because it's taught me patience.
Okay.
I think a lot of times when you're running a business, you're an entrepreneur, you want to be successful. But you're not gonna be in business to
lose.
Yeah, you want to be successful, but everything happens in God's timing. If you try to rush and go before God, you'll end up getting hurt. But
can you say that again? That's very powerful. Yeah.
If you try to rush, ahead of God's time, you'll end up getting hurt. And the book of Jeremiah also talks about before you were in your mother's womb, God knew who you were.
Absolutely.
He formed you for a specific purpose. He had your destiny pre-planned. So I find comfort in knowing that, God has taken care of everything. My job is just to sit back, look pretty, and just walk down the path that God has called me to.
I would say bravo.
Yeah.
I like what you said about integrity. Being in business, it's very important. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
Integrity is a huge thing. I learned that working in banking, and a lot of things aren't always for everyone to see. Some things are hidden, right? For example, let's say someone's walking in front of you and they drop their wallet, and no one sees, no one's around. Integrity is picking up that wallet and handing it back to that person and saying, hey, and not looking inside. For me, I know that God's not going to bless anything that I do if I don't have integrity in business. It means not scamming people. You know, if you're going to pay for, you know, a product or service, making sure I'm delivering that product and service. And especially nowadays, there's a lot of scammers, you know.
I know.
There's a lot of scammers,
a lot of scammers.
Especially in social media. So I want to make sure that I'm doing business with integrity and, you know, and doing it the right way. So.
Okay. Yeah. So this leads me to another key word. It's about reputation.
Oh, yeah.
We are out there on social media. We do business with people. Tell us a little bit about that.
Reputation is huge. I think that goes back again to integrity. Your reputation precedes you. Before you walk into a room, let's say you have a business meeting, everyone knows someone who knows someone who knows someone. And they're going to ask around, they're going to say, hey, you heard that girl Maryse, how is she in business? Yeah. If they're like, oh my God, she's super rude, she's always late, they're not going to want to do business with you.
And that's your reputation.
And that's your reputation, how you treat people. My mom always used to tell me, you know, no matter what position someone is in life, whether they're a CEO or a janitor, everyone is due respect. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I try to, you know, live by that. So
that's I have nothing to say. Perfect. I like this conversation. And myself, I preside a non-profit organization as well. Yeah. And you were talking about that non-profit organization. How do you call it?
It's a junior foundation.
So how did you get started? I know a lot of successful people in the US, they donate. Yeah. You know, so how did you get started? Like, okay, you do business, but to create and then get involved in giving back to those people. Yeah. That's very, very, very nice.
Yeah. So a little bit of a background, I've dedicated a lot of my teens and, you know, my 20s doing a lot of charity work. I was a youth pastor for a church here in Dallas called HSTC. Okay. I also was a gateway leader at Gateway Church. It's a well-known church here. I did that for a few years also. So I've dedicated my time decades, honestly, a decade or more, doing charity work prior to starting the Junior Foundation. The Junior Foundation, I feel, it's my life's purpose. I'm very passionate when it comes to children. Kids? I named the Junior Foundation after my brother. He actually died when I was 13 years old. And I run that foundation with my mom and my sister, my older sister, Kathy. She has her doctorates in human resources and educational and leadership also. And the Junior Foundation is geared towards educating, housing, and feeding children. So
education,
housing and feeding children. Yeah, so like I was saying prior, every Wednesday from 7 to 9, I take my sister Joyce and my brother Joshua, my nephew, and we go to churches. It can be Gateway, and we mentor to children. We talk to them about God, the importance of education, talk to them about purpose. And then we also opened an orphanage back at home. We house about 25 to 30 kids. My older sister Kathy, she heads the education portion. My mom, she's a nurse, so anything that has to do with feeding, you know, making sure we're trying to get medical supplies sent there also to take care of the kids. So it's a family thing, but it's like I said, I think that's what God has called me to do. So.
Do you have a website?
Yeah, so if you go on Instagram, it's Junior Foundation. You can find all the information on there. So, yeah, you'll see all the pictures of all the kids that we're helping also. So.
This is excellent. This is excellent. Yeah. So, do you have any plans, like, because you're in Dallas, do you plan to open other businesses in other states or maybe overseas? In Europe, in Africa? Yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, so right now the orphanage in Africa is the only thing we have outside of the state. Okay. Social media has kind of done the job for me. I have people who reach out from France.
Social media is powerful.
From Africa, important. From Canada, you know, and they go to my site, Shell Lux, they go to Shell Beauty if they want to order hair, if they want to order dresses. As far as expanding to anywhere else across the world, you never know. I'm always open, you know, wherever God guides me, you know, and I'll go, so.
Yeah, we are so blessed to have you.
Thank you.
You know, because that's very inspiring to all those people watching us. You're like, oh, she inspires me, and I want to do like her. So what advice can you give to those people?
The first advice
about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Okay. let's get it right.
Yeah.
We all have our own journeys about entrepreneurship, but something that you can share with all those people watching us.
The first thing I would say is you have to allow God to reveal to you what your purpose is.
God first.
That's God is the #1 priority in everything that I do. When God tells you what your purpose is, He creates a pathway for you to walk into it. And I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make is, you go on social media, you see, okay, for example, Marie started a clothing page and a beauty page. You're like, maybe I should do that. But did God call you to do that? That's the biggest thing. Did God call you to do that? Like I said before, God has put talents inside each and every single person. And it's up to us, it's up to Him to show us what our giftings and our talents are. That's the #1 thing. The second thing is that, you have to be very punctual and be prepared to work hard being an entrepreneur. On the outside, it looks very pretty. It looks like, wow, I have my own business, I'm working my own hours. It's a Monday through Sunday thing, and it takes years and years of hard work. Like I said, I've been doing hair, clothes and all that since I was 10 years old. That's more than a decade before I even opened my businesses. So do you have the background knowledge, one, for what you're doing? Have you done the research? There's so much that goes into it. So, I think finding your purpose, having a relationship with God, and then preparing yourself and having the knowledge before opening a business or getting into entrepreneurship. So,
thank you. Thank you. Yeah. This is wonderful. Yeah. I like the way you encourage other people. Yeah. And my next question is, in what you do, sometimes you don't feel, do you have the support of your family or even a friend? How, because sometimes when you started, people are like, okay, and then you get to a certain level, they're like, okay. Yeah. So what do you, how do you see the way people see you as an entrepreneur?
So I've learned one thing is I'm not focused on what everyone else is doing. I've completely blocked that out of my thought process. I know what God has called me to do. I know what my purpose is. I know the vision for my life and what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay. The biggest thing is when I wanted to start selling clothes and getting into entrepreneurship, there was a lot of people who would tell me, how hard it is, who would try to discourage me. I closed my ears to it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I chose to surround myself with people who encouraged me. Like my mom and my sister Kathy, Grace, they've all been, even my sister Joyce, like I said, she's been taking pictures. Before I got a photographer and all that stuff, she was taking pictures of my dresses and helping me. So I've chosen to surround myself with people who are going to uplift me, push me, and make sure that I'm also staying on that path to lead to success. You know what I mean?
Like-minded people.
So like-minded people. Your circle, determines where you're going to go. That's a big thing. So. And
what do you enjoy the most being an entrepreneur?
Oh wow! Okay. What do I enjoy the most? I have such a passion for what I do. I love sewing. For me, my business is not a job. I love sewing dresses. I love drawing the pictures, going to the factory and Harry Hines, looking through fabric, coming home, putting the dresses together. If you follow me on social media, you'll constantly see me posting stuff. I love my clients. They're giving me the responsibility of their hair, and as women, our hair is everything. For them trusting me, so. Having that relationship with my clients, trusting, my process, and ultimately making an impact and making women feel beautiful, and helping kids. It's just I'm passionate about it, so it's not a job. It's something I enjoy. So
this is very, very powerful what you said. To love what you do. Yeah. Because the thing is, when you love what you do, God is gonna reveal you so many things that you can be the best. In what you do. But sometimes people they can be blessed, for what they have, but sometimes they're like, I'm doing this, I don't like it.
Yeah.
If you say that, God's not, He's not going to help you in what you do. No, that's important.
You're probably not called to it if you hate it.
Absolutely. The more you love what you do, it can show you how to be the best in what you do. That's very, 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 very important. And I love this. The question is, what books can you share with us about, entrepreneurship, financial education, what you're reading right now, or something that can help somebody, as well?
So I'm a very avid reader. One of my favorite books, I think, kind of laid a foundation for me is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He explained the importance of why you should have a business. He gave different real life scenarios as to why that's the better route to take long term. There's also the 4 pillars of investing. It's a great book on investment, how to utilize your money to make it work for you. The Millionaire Mind, one of my favorite books. If you want to be a millionaire, you have to think like one.
You have to have the mindset of a millionaire.
Yeah, you have to have the vision and the mindset. And then what I'm currently reading right now is Why Most Small Businesses Fail. It's by Michelle Garber, I do believe. And it's an incredible book. It shows you the pathway of how to start off as a small business and kind of grow, the mistakes that small business owners have made, how to avoid them. And it's a really great book. So.
And that's important to read as well, because the mistake some people make, they want to be an entrepreneur, they want to be this.
And you don't read.
They don't, no, seriously.
You don't read,
They don't read, they don't learn. No matter what you do, set sometimes, like 30 minutes or an hour, read something. Read, no, that's important, because the brain is a muscle. The more you read, the more it keeps your brain no, that's true. No. I love that. So, what advice, again, can you say to those who are watching you in Europe, in Africa, in the US? They are like, I want to be like her.
I want to be like you. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Sometimes I know you're waiting for people to clap for you and say, wow, you're doing a good job. Success is not linear. It's like a roller coaster. There's a lot of ups and downs, and you're going to have really good days, you're going to have really bad days, but it's, one, how bad do you want it, and do you believe in yourself enough to do the work to get there, And if you know what you're called to do, again, if God called you to it, He'll get you through it, and you'll land, you'll become successful. It takes time.
This is fantastic, Miss Maryse. It's a blessing to have that kind of conversation about entrepreneurship, to help, because the purpose of this show is to encourage people and to educate people, about entrepreneurship. It's very important. Sometimes you want to make it, but like I used to say, or you are an investor or you are an entrepreneur. So here we talk about entrepreneurship. We have successful entrepreneur people on this wonderful show to encourage other people in this on this path. So I'm gonna give you let's say the last word if you want to say something, because we literally over.
Okay. If you guys want to purchase a dress, if you want to purchase extensions, jewelry, swimwear, fitness, if you need relationship advice, I have a podcast, also Girls Talk. My business is empowering women and helping women feel beautiful and educating them in any way that I can. If you want to volunteer also, you can find me on a Junior Foundation, and on Instagram it's Marceline. And I look forward to working with all of you. And also thank you for having me. You're awesome.
And sorry, another quick question about the Girls Talk. What is it exactly?
So a Girls Talk is a podcast that I started last year. It's about empowering women through scripture. Helping them to build businesses and lead them towards God. So, Thank
you again for this time we spent with Marceline. She's I call her the serial entrepreneur because she does literally everything. Supply chain, beauty, and non-profit, and
real estate.
Real estate. We were so blessed to have her
Thank you.
Well, again, my name is Christian Seri. I'm a DFW realtor, and I'm the founder of Business Apparel here in Dallas. So thank you, and see you next time.